I think it's quite a privilege to live in Britain at this time in history and have as our next door neighbours people of other faiths. It's been my experience that when we are in dialogue with a member of other faiths, we're also in dialogue with God, and one gets kind of surprising insights, not only insights about other faiths, which I find interesting, but new insights about our own faith. And so I think it's quite a privilege to have people of other faiths as now our next door neighbours.
I think that Christ calls us to love everybody. We're called to love our neighbours, but not just our neighbours, we're called to love our enemies as well. For me, that's one of the great distinctives of the Christian message, is this challenge, I guess, to even love the unlovely. I see in many religions that there's a real tendency to withdraw into your own community, and I think religion often becomes a political identity where we identify ourselves against the other, and we feel secure in our little ghettos, I guess. At which point it's actually very easy to convince yourself that you don't have to love the other, you only have to love your own kind. But the Christian challenge, the challenge of Christ, is that we reach out past that to those who are different, to those who we might not normally certainly even spend time with, but certainly not love. So I'd say that's central to the gospel.
I think women play a pivotal role in creating understanding between different cultures, different faiths, different communities. And the way that I have found as a mother, as a woman, is I live my faith. I don't talk about it. I live the faith, and I transmit that knowledge to my child. So the lived experience helps me to create understanding, and that goes for husbands, goes for brothers, that we treat and we ask them and we have conversation with them where they respect womanhood, not just relationships. And that's a very important point that I may mention, because we tend to have people respecting relationships as mothers, as daughters, as friends, but the woman has somehow forgotten all that. So I think as women, we need to do that. And I'm passionate about living the faith.
I think the highlight was possibly going into the new millennium, because the interfaith scene really had a high profile at that stage. But the real work, kind of month in, month out, was the encouragement of the local faith groups, councils of faiths in the various cities, and that has just mushroomed in number over the decade, from about a couple of dozen perhaps at the beginning to well over 200 now. And that is having, I think, a big effect in the life of local communities up and down the country.
Well, Near Neighbours is a fantastic opportunity for faith communities. It's a programme that's going to be running for 3 years, and it's encouraging people of different faiths to meet together and work together in their localities. And it's offering lots of resources to faith communities. It's offering grants, it's offering training, it's offering events, everything that really can be done to encourage people to come together and to go from a first encounter to the next step of acting together.
I think we in the Northwest, and certainly in Lancashire, are doing immense amount of work, whether you call it community cohesion or whether you call it religious integration. I think there are gaps, and I think we need the Muslim communities, the mosques, to be much more proactive, just as the churches to be much more proactive, and other people of other faiths too, but here we're talking about Christian and Muslims. We need to come together and look at a problem or a situation as a common ground and try to find solutions for that.